Right. Sorry, it took a little while to get into this. I was just checking. Actually, used my phone to just log into my other account and basically just try to make sure that everything was working. But yeah, it looks like everything's working good. So we're gonna get this going. I do apologize to anyone who caught my last live stream. If you jumped in at all for some reason, I just wasn't paying attention, I guess, and I had my display capture focused in on just a small section of the screen. And yeah, so you guys, if anybody tried to watch that last live stream, you just couldn't see anything I was actually doing. So I apologize for that. I ended up just kind of deleting out that video. So this time around, I fixed my display capture. You guys should be able to see everything. If you're just tuning in now, or if you just found my channel and you're watching this, pretty much what I'm going to do in this video is just kind of brush up on my PostgreSQL in my advanced data management class right now. And the test is basically going to be all PostgreSQL using their pgadmin for GUI. So this is basically the GUI you get that when you download Postgres. You can go right to their website and just download Postgres. You can download the installer and it'll install this software here along with the command line and like a couple other things. This is really easy to set up. Actually, I did it the other day. It's a little easier even than I think MySQL as far as setting it all up. You just follow all the prompts inside of the installer, make a password. Just don't forget the password because you'll need it to log in. After you download it all, you can just go down to your start menu, find the PostgreSQL folder. It'll be down somewhere like this right here. So after you download it, you'll find this, and then just grab this pg4 admin and throw it on your desktop. When you open that up, it'll basically tell you to put in your password, and then you can click down here on the server and go into it, and this is basically kind of what you'll get. The only thing that will be different when you first start is you're not going to have any functions or tables or trigger functions or anything like that. Those are all stuff I added yesterday. What I'd like to do in this one is I think I'm just going to try to create two tables. One table is going to hold a list of items, and then the other table is going to be like just a list of sales. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to later on create a trigger function that basically every time I insert something into my sales table, I want it to subtract the quantity of that item from my inventory and kind of get something going automatically like for that. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. If you are interested in that and you want to do some practice some PostgreSQL with me, then yeah, feel free to stick around. So once you're in here, you can just click on this little thing here. This is going to be your query tool. It's pretty much what you're going to use to write any kind of commands. So, like I said, create a couple tables. We'll call one inventory. And my inventory is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like an item ID. So we'll do item, maybe I'll do underscore ID. So item ID, which is just going to be a serial, which will basically create an auto incremented serial number for that. It'll be, it'll be not null. It'll be, you can't duplicate it, all that good stuff. So serial does that for you. Outside of my item ID, we will just do, maybe I'll just do like name. I don't want to do item name, item ID, item all that. I'm just going to do name. That might not work either. All right, we'll do item name because name is like one of those keywords. All right, item name. This is just going to be a variable character of whatever length we really want. Been doing 50 lately because that seems to work pretty good. Alright. We'll have our name, and then we want to have a quantity. So let's do item quantity. And that's going to be an integer. And we'll do a default quantity of 0. Or should I don't want to do null. Do I have to do it in parentheses? I'm not even sure now. Alright, we'll try that. Default of 0. I think that's all I'm really gonna want. I don't want to complicate this too much. Alright, so like I said in my other live feed that I actually ended up deleting, but if you want shortcuts to basically executing a command, you can just hit F5. It's a lot faster than having to come up here and click play. So once you've written out your command, you're happy with it, hit F5 and it'll save it. The other thing that you're going to need to do is, because this doesn't auto refresh, you'll notice I only have 2 tables. This table's not showing. So just click on your schema, go up to object, and then hit refresh. And make sure that you're clicked on what you want to refresh, because when you click refresh, it doesn't refresh everything. It only refreshes what you're clicked on. So if you're clicked on, you know, functions or something and you hit refresh, it's not going to actually refresh the whole schema. So yeah, but now you can see that came up. So I have my inventory table here, got my columns. We'll add some stuff to it in a second, but for now, we're going to create our second table, which is going to be our sales table. That is going to, I guess we'll just track it by sales. We'll do like sale ID. I don't think I'm going to have a name. So maybe sales description. You know what I should do? We'll do sales description. We'll do item quantity. Probably don't need the default 0, but I'll leave it because I don't really care at the moment. Alright, serial. Let's go ahead and put in I wonder if I can do item. I wonder if I can give it the same exact identifier. Just do item ID, which is also, actually item ID is going to be a foreign key, which I'm not even 100% sure if I know how to set that up right. Alright, so for now I'm just gonna do an integer. Alright, we'll have that as an integer. I'm just turning out my music a little bit. Hopefully it's still good. I'm gonna look at my course material actually before I create this and just brush up on the whole foreign key objects. I want to see how to add one of those, because item ID technically is just going to be a foreign key. Now, I know in MySQL, I think you just end up writing foreign key right there with it. And then I think later on you have to do like foreign key and then what it links to at the bottom. It has been so long since I've done any kind of SQL, so Bear with me because I'm going to struggle through this a bit. Alright, so it looks a little different for this one. Looks like if I want to do if I want to do a foreign key, then I have to actually specify out like a whole constraint. So let's see what let's see exactly how to do this. Where'd my music go? Ah, there we go. Alright. Okay, so let's see if I can figure out how to do this. So I'm going to create my sales table. This guy right here, maybe I will just do at the end here. Alright. Leave all those the way it is. And then I will actually, I want to do my primary key as sale ID. And then my foreign key is going to have this constraint. And then I guess you have to call it. Not to give it a name. They just have like foreign key, and then we'll do maybe like sales. And then under here we'll do foreign key, and we're gonna have actually right under here. I'm gonna do, I should have left it in there. So we'll have item ID, which is gonna be an integer. And my item ID is gonna be my foreign key. Alright, so that's a little better. And then we have to tell it what our foreign key is going to reference, which it is going to references our inventory table item underscore ID. Alright, think that works. Let's try. It's giving me an issue right here.
This is long after business hours. I can give you only 5 minutes. Thank you.
Oh, probably because I didn't put a comma here. Let's try that. There is no unique constraint matching given keys for the reference table inventory. No unique constraint. Do I have to create a constraint first? I always end up trying to do things that I just have no idea how to do when I go live. I was gonna set this up a little simpler and just kind of practice more on creating functions and stuff, but seeing as I already started down this rabbit hole, I'm just gonna try to get it to work. Maybe I should change this. Alright, let's cut that for now. Key constraint. Alright, well, when in doubt, copy and paste, alright? This is exactly what they have written. And that worked. So I have a customer ID, customer name, primary key is customer ID. And over here we have contact ID, customer ID, generated always as identity. Generated always as identity. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's the same as just doing serial. Alright, so it should have just created two tables for me, contacts and a customer, and the customer ID is a foreign key inside of my other one. So I wonder if it didn't work for me because my inventory column is just a serial. Item ID is just a serial. It's not generated always as an ID, and it's also not a primary. I wonder if it's because I didn't make it a primary key. Maybe it has to be a primary key in order for it to be referenced as a foreign key somewhere else. That's probably what it is. I wonder if... Alright, well let's refresh this because now I got a couple extra tables that I stole from online. Alright, so now I got contacts and customers too, so that's kind of cool. Alright, we'll get rid of this. And let me see if I can update my inventory table to make my ID a primary key. Which technically I'm not gonna update it, that's gonna be like an alter. Alter table inventory. Alter column item ID set. I don't know if I have to do set, if I can just do primary key. I don't know if this is gonna work. I have no idea if this is right. Oh, okay, I gotta add it. So I alter my table, and I guess I don't have to alter a column, I'm just adding a primary key. So I can just do add. Add primary key to item ID. Alright, that worked. Well, that was way easier than I thought. I thought I had to like actually alter the whole column. Okay, so now that that is a primary key, let's go back and try what I was doing before, which actually I just erased it all, so now I gotta type it all out again. So we're gonna create a table, and this table is gonna be called my sales table. So sales, and we're gonna have our sale ID, which is gonna be serial, and then we'll have our inventory, we'll call it inventory ID, which is just going to be an integer. So sales ID, inventory ID, sale description. So I have like variable character. Give it like 100. Actually, we can make that a little shorter. We'll do 50. Alright, so we have our sales ID, our inventory ID, sales description. What else do we need? Oh, actually. Oh, quantity. Yeah, so maybe I'll just do item. Or maybe just do quantity sold. Sure. It's another integer. And we'll do our primary key, which is going to be sale ID. And we will have a constraint. We'll just call the constraint sale. Foreign key is going to be our inventory underscore ID, and that is going to references inventory. Oh man, how did I do it again? References inventory, and then I just put in what size inventory item underscore ID. Alright, that should create the table I want. Alright, I think that worked this time. So yeah, I had to actually make that the foreign key that I wanted to use a primary key on the table that it was in. Which I should have known that to begin with. Okay, so now I got all kinds of tables going on in here. So that's good. My inventory is now connected to my sales through a foreign key, which is nice. And then I think I just now have to fill in my tables. So I'll just put some info in there. So let's do our inventory first. So do insert into inventory. And the only thing we really need to do is item name. Item name and quantity. And the quantity I don't really even have to do because the quantity it's going to default to 0, but I'm definitely going to want to actually add quantities. So do item name and item quantity. And then I'll just do my values. And I'm just going to separate them all out like this. Makes it easier. So my first item be an apple. We'll make him... Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have added prices to this too. But whatever, you know what? I'll worry about prices later. So quantity, we'll just do like 10. Yeah, I don't know what kind of store I have, but apparently I have apples, cakes, and computers. Because why not? Sorry, I was just kind of looking down here at my little baby monitor. Daughter's rolling around. Might have to cut this stream a little short if she wakes up. Looks like she's going back to sleep. It's always tough to try to find time to study. What else do we want to add in here? Alright, that's probably enough to add in for now. So we got some stuff that we can sell and that will adjust our inventory. So go ahead, and now we're just gonna do an insert into our sales. Actually, before I insert anything into my sales, maybe this is a good time to stop and try to do my trigger function, because that was the end goal of this whole video and kind of study session anyway. So I made one trigger function the other day, but it was kind of pointless. So I'm gonna run back into my actual school's website here and look at, there was an example that actually like showed it pretty good, so I'm gonna look at that again so I don't mess this up. Functions and triggers. Here we go. Scroll down to triggers. So the interesting thing about triggers, and one of the things that would confuse me the other day, was that there are actual just trigger functions. So you can create regular functions, and what I thought you did is create a normal function and then create a trigger that triggered that function, but that's not the case. There are functions that are specifically made to return triggers, and then those are the functions that get triggered automatically. So you can't actually trigger a normal function. Normal functions always get kind of called by a select statement. Alright. So let me scroll down here. That example I saw the other day. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty similar to what I'm trying to do. So we're gonna do create function, and we will call it like update inventory. Update inventory, because that is what it's gonna do. Don't really think it's not gonna need any kind of arguments or parameters. So, and it's going to return trigger as let's call it inventory trigger. Alright. After that, we are going to declare our function, which is going to be update inventory. Actually, no, this is different. We're actually declaring just an object that we're going to be using inside of our function. So, and it's just going to be an integer. So we're going to call this inventory, and then we'll just call it maybe like level, and that'll be an integer. All right, now we can begin the fun stuff. Alright, so this is gonna be a little strange.
Hey.
Alright, I need to back up a little bit and see what table they have here and how they're using it. Or else the example is not going to make much sense to me. Trying to look at their names and see exactly what they are. That's annoying. So they're basically using a previous example and just changing it from a normal function to a triggered function. So I gotta scroll all the way back up to see the original function if I want to see where they got all the names and where those names are inside of the table. List of products. Alright, so this is even more confusing because they are using like functions inside of their triggered functions to get stuff. So I don't have other functions already made to do this, so I'm gonna have to try to do all of this in like a select statement somehow. But that's alright. I mean, this is good stuff for me. It's a good way for me to try to learn. So I know what I want to do, and essentially what I want to do is what I want to do is basically remove a certain quantity of an item from my inventory table. So I want to update my inventory when this happens. So I really wish they had like a less complicated example. This is kind of tough. Alright, but I mean, I'm basically just doing an update command. So let's try to think about this, right? I want to update my inventory. Table, right? So I'm going to update inventory, and I'm going to set basically my item quantity. Set my item quantity equal to something here, right? And my item quantity is gonna be set to my item quantity is going to be set to something new, some new value, which is basically going to be, whatever the original value was minus whatever is on the sold line that's inserted. So I know that. Now, outside of that, what else do I need? I'm also gonna have to be able to retrieve, you know, whatever that sales quantity was. So quantity sold is what I'm gonna have to get. So I need quantity sold. So I'm gonna have to find some way to get that. So inventory level, which I'm gonna use that now. So my inventory level is gonna equal basically my sales dot quantity. Yeah, sales dot quantity sold minus, wait, no, I'm gonna do the other way around. Inventory dot dot item quantity minus sales. Alright, yeah, so it's gonna equal that minus that, where so inventory level is going to equal inventory.item quantity minus sales.quantity. But I'm going to have to figure out which. I'm going to have to figure out, you know, which row it wants to do this to. So we'll do where inventory. Alright, hold on, I gotta think about this for a second. Let's see, what else do we got? Yeah. Alright, this is going to be inventory level. Yeah, eventually we're gonna get inventory level to be the correct level, and then we're gonna update our inventory, set item quantity to equal to inventory level. But it's gonna be, yeah, maybe that's where my where statement comes in. So where inventory dot item underscore ID equals sales dot, what did I call that? Inventory ID. Alright, yeah, so where these two match, it's gonna create that. I think that works. Not 100% sure though. I mean, I think it's similar. I just don't think that I have this really set up quite right. Inventory level is going to equal inventory.item quantity minus sales.quantity sold. Maybe I need to, I think maybe I have to put a where. I think I have to put that where clause twice. I need it once for defining what this is going to be, and also for my update. I think that'll work. Just not really sure now what I'm even returning. They just have return new, which I'm not 100% sure what that even is signifying. Alright, let's give that a try. See how it goes. I mean, yeah, let's just see what happens. It did create a function. Now, whether that function does what I want it to do, that's a whole nother story. But let's copy this for now. I'll refresh my schema so I can take a look at my new function here. So I have my update inventory function. Let's just see if it actually does what I want it to do. So that's what's in my inventory. Let's create a sales insert. So actually, yeah, wait. So first I got to create my trigger. So I created my function that returns a trigger. Now I need to actually create my trigger, right? Yeah, because I have to create a trigger to execute my procedure before it'll actually work. So we're going to do create trigger. This is going to be update trigger, which, do I already have an update trigger? Oh wait, it doesn't really matter, right? Because that trigger I created on a totally different, I created that on a totally different table. So I'm going to create a trigger on my inventory table. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I think this is right. So create trigger, update trigger. This is going to do alright. So I want this to go after an insert on sales. Yeah, sales, I think. Wow. We're going to execute our procedure, which is going to be update underscore inventory. Alright, I think that worked. So that's pretty good. We'll go over here, refresh this again. And now on my inventory, I should have a trigger. Or is it my sales that has a trigger? Alright, my sales has a trigger. Update trigger, update inventory. Alright, so now I should be able to insert something into my sales column Let's try it. We'll insert into sales. Our inventory ID. Our sales description.
Fellas, we didn't ask you here this evening.
Sales description.
Criticize you for the things that you've done. Rather, we're going to ask you to cooperate with us by just
And
misunderstandings.
our quantity
Arriving at a solution
sold.
without further
Right?
violence.
And then I'm just gonna try this one time. Inventory. I think our inventory. I think number 1 was the apple. So then I think I had 50 in there. So maybe I'll check before I actually run this. So the description is just gonna be like credit, and then quantity sold, let's just say 5. Alright, so I'm gonna cut this for now before I run it. Just gonna select everything. Select everything in inventory. Alright, so I have 10 apples, and I'm going to try to sell 5. Missing from clause entry for table inventory. Alright. So I need to try to fix my function.
I don't believe it.
Story is going to be yeah, I gotta figure out.
Okay, boys, what's the beef?
This is always so confusing to me how I actually like select certain things. So maybe I want to select inventory.item quantity minus sales.sales quantity from
You're much too kind.
I don't think that's right either.
I must see you alone.
Relational inventory. Relation inventory does not exist. Update. I misspelled something in my. I
Okay.
got spelling mistakes in there as well. Alright. Try again. Inventory. Did I do that anywhere else in there? Alright. Missing from clause. Entry for table sales. I'm not good at this. So inventory level, set item quantity, update inventory, set item quantity equal to inventory level, where inventory level dot item ID equals sales dot inventory ID. I don't really know how it's gonna. Doesn't even make sense. Missing from clause entry for table sales. Line 1. Inventory underscore level where inventory dot item ID equals sales. Alright. Let's try this again.
Oh, look.
Would you like to do another? Yes.
I feel like maybe I should be creating functions to use inside these trigger functions to make this a little easier so that it knows exactly what I'm trying to do.
Robert, is it possible this germ or virus could be airborne?
Anything is possible, Verge.
Maybe I can make this a little easier, right?
Have been running through this.
Let's just declare a few more variables, maybe. So inventory level. Maybe I can do.
It can't be destroyed by any process we've been able to.
Maybe I can just do quantity. It's also going to be an integer. And then also declare like sold, which is an integer. And then what I can do while defining inventory level is just put quantity is equal to select item underscore quantity from inventory where
anything is possible, Verge.
You don't believe in monsters, do you? Of course not.
I don't know if that's gonna work either, because again, it's gonna be looking for. I have to figure out how to get it full from there. All right, let's try this then. We're gonna select item quantity and inventory. Select item quantity and inventory ID. I don't know if that'll work. From inventory sales. Where that? I don't know. This is gonna be weird. I'm gonna get rid of all this and I'm just gonna put quantity minus sold. That should at least kind of simplify that line. I have really no idea if this is actually gonna work, but we'll figure it out.
Well, you got my goal. Might as well set me free.
hold on. Yeah, so I think, alright, before I'm just gonna show it, yes. Alright, before I even do this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function. I'm gonna create a function that returns my stock, which is gonna return basically my inventory level for that item. In order for this to work, I need to do that. So we're gonna create function called get inventory quantity, and let's just go up here and see exactly what they did. I'm gonna have it basically do, I'm gonna call it item ID, which is going to be an integer. Yeah. And then it's going to returns we'll just do like inventory underscore level returns inventory level, which is going to be in integer. Turns inventory level integer.
We don't have very long. Yes.
Alright, let's go down here for a second. Alright. So it's going to return an inventory level, which is an integer. Actually, I got this backwards. It's basically going to return an integer as inventory level. Then we can declare inventory underscore level, which is an integer. And then we're gonna basically do inventory level is going to equal
Arnold, if I said yes, I'd feel no. If I said no, I'd feel yes. I don't know what to say.
Do what I tell you and everything will be fine.
Alright, yeah, so we're gonna do select item quantity from inventory where inventory dot item underscore ID is equal to the item ID, which is what's inside, that's what this function's gonna get given to it. So I think this is really what I was missing when I was trying to set up my whole trigger. inventory level is going to equal the quantity from my inventory of the item that it's provided. I think that'll give me what I
you're
want.
going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Then it's going to return inventory level. After it returns inventory level, it's pretty much end. And last thing is just a language thing. Alright, so I think that'll create... what's wrong now? Select item quantity from inventory. Syntax error near select.
6.
Why is there a syntax error? It doesn't tell me what the issue is, but it says that there is an issue.
I don't like the way that guy's yakking.
I do.
You would.
I don't understand what the issue is. This is really frustrating.
They know the call of every wild
I don't know
bird.
why it's giving me a
They know the
syntax
name of
error
every
around
tree.
select.
It can even catch flies.
Take a young fella, take a young man who follows his policy of safe.
Perhaps I was talking when I should have been listening.
But that's what I have there. I'm just gonna keep things consistent. I just get rid of that completely. Alright, that seems to work. I guess you don't need to do select, you just type exactly what you want it to get, and it does it for you. Alright. Alright, so now I should have a function. It says get inventory. Let's go back to our trigger that we tried to make on our sales. This guy. Update. So update trigger inventory equals inventory item.sales. Alright, so now what we can do is my inventory level is actually going to be equal to that whole. Why can't I delete that? WTF, man. I gotta go down to my actual, alright. No, I don't want this one. Yeah, this one. Alright, so here's my trigger function that doesn't work. And what I want it to do, instead of all this nonsense, we're going to use that function to get my inventory level. So what I can do is go ahead and type in, what did I even call that function? Alright, so it's going to do get inventory quantity. Get inventory quantity. Alright, so now if I have an inventory quantity that I want to get, what I can do is I can go in and what the heck did it do earlier? Alright, so the way that they did it, they just used the new word here, new keyword, and then whatever is new, I guess, inside of my sales. So, quantity. Alright, get inventory new, and then I guess I want to do inventory ID. I think that's what I want, because it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be a new inventory underscore ID. I don't know, the way they wrote it is a little weird, definitely different. So inventory level is going to equal get inventory quantity new dot inventory ID. I think. Not 100% sure if that's going to work. And then we're going to update my inventory set item quantity equal to inventory level, where I think I can just go ahead and do code equals new dot product code. I think this is weird because I'm updating a table. I'm updating a table based off of an insert from a different table. Well, let's save this and see if it gets me any closer. I did I put anything into sales yet? I think every time I tried, it gave me an error because it can't do the function that's called during that. Yeah, nothing in there yet. So let's try to insert something into there again. Alright, so insert into sales, and we're gonna put our inventory underscore ID, sales description, and our quantity sold. So we'll just do 1 for our apples. Again, for this, we'll just do credit. And then for quantity sold, we'll try 5. Missing from clause entry for table sales. Alright, so again, I'm having issues with it recognizing how to find this. Update inventory, set item quantity equal to inventory level, where inventory.item equals, or inventory item equals sales.inventory item. The example I have in my book, like, just doesn't really make much sense. This is what I have in my book, but this whole part doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then this part doesn't make a whole lot of sense either to me because there's nothing new inside of my actual inventory. So I don't know how to get it to kind of correlate to what I'm trying to do. I thought I wouldn't have to do like from if I have that sales.inventory ID. That was the whole point of doing that dot. Wonder if I can just create another or declare another variable that will hold that sales inventory ID. Actually, you know what? Whatever. Let's just get rid of that and put new. I don't think that's gonna work, but we'll try it. Alright, something happened. So let's go ahead and cut that. Maybe this worked. I am very doubtful that it actually did, but hey, who knows? Alright, so we did actually, it let us finally insert something into our sales. Now the real question is, did that ridiculous function that we made actually update our inventory? It did something to it, but it didn't change the quantity. It did do something to it though, because it's no longer at the front, it's all the way at the bottom. But it didn't do what we wanted it to do, because our inventory is still saying 10. Alright, but we're closer. So how do I get it to specify? Actually, it did pick the right one, so let's just go and look at our update thing again. I wonder if our inventory level is just not working, because it looks like this statement here is actually working, but inventory level, I think inventory level actually just returned the current inventory level. So I think what we need to do is actually get our inventory level to minus what our sold one is. Yeah, what our quantity sold is. So I don't know if I could just add that in here. Actually, maybe again I can just like remove that and do new.quantity sold. Let's try that again. We'll try it one more time and see. Okay, so in my sales one though, I want to delete everything that's in there, so truncate sales should have deleted everything from sales. Alright, yeah, so that's empty again. Now we'll go ahead and do our insert one more time now that we changed everything around. Again, it worked. That time it actually worked. Okay. So it did adjust our quantity. All right. Hey, look at that. Wow. All right, an hour and a half later, and I have successfully done what I started out to do today, which was to create some kind of function, triggered function, and a trigger to basically adjust the quantity of an item on one table based off of an insert to another table, which is what they showed in my book, that example, but that example is a lot different than what I actually did. But hey, I'll call that a success. Any day I can get my daughter to take a nap and I can get down here and mess around is a success. So I'm pretty happy with that. I definitely think I understand functions and triggers a little bit better. It was kind of cool that I actually had to use like a normal function along with the triggered function and the triggers to get this all to work. Yeah, I mean, and if anybody, I'll keep this up. I think I'll probably just keep this video up, even though it's ridiculously long and probably painful to watch. But if you skip around, and if anybody's interested in this kind of stuff, it may be helpful. So I'll leave this one up. I mean, at least you guys in this one, you can see my screen and can see everything I'm doing. So I'm sure that helps. But yeah, let's try one more insert into sales. Let's change this. I have a lot of hot dogs in here, which is number 4. So let's change it to 4, and then change that to cash. And let's say that he bought 9 hot dogs. Nice. All right, so it definitely works. All right, I'm gonna go back to that function because I kind of want to look at it again and see. So the big thing that I was kind of missing when I first started out with this is this whole new keyword. So when you're changing some things based off of an insert, this new keyword is going to help a lot. So basically, you don't need to tell it, what table this is from or anything. You just put in new, and then you put in the column name, and it basically figures out that, hey, this has just been inserted. This is new. This is what you want. So I was able to use that whole function, which honestly I could probably do away with this function now that I know that you can just do new.quantity sold, and I could have just done no, actually I still would have needed that. This new.inventory ID is I'm able to give it a parameter, which is basically the new inventory ID that is added when I do this insert, and this get inventory quantity pulls the item quantity from my inventory. So yeah, no, that function is actually still legit. I need that. So all right, definitely a little better. And then over here we just did update inventory, set item quantity equal to my inventory level that I declared up here, which is an integer, where the inventory ID equals the new.inventory item or ID. So I like that. That's pretty good. Return new. All right, pretty legit. So yeah, if you guys watch this now, you know how to create tables, insert things into tables, create functions and triggers and triggered functions. I don't know if I actually I changed a few things too. I changed how to add, create a primary key if you don't have one already. So yeah, I think there was a lot of useful information in this video. Like I said, pretty long, pretty painful, I'm sure, to watch. There was a lot of downtime, a lot of me looking at my second monitor and stuff, but it is what it is. It's what these study sessions are all about. I'll try to do a video pretty soon. I'm trying to finish up with this class because I don't want to do too many more videos on this PostgreSQL. I think I've pretty much done everything I really want to show you guys. It gets a little redundant and boring after a while, and let's face it, SQL is just kind of boring compared to Java or Python or C++, stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to get through this class and then hopefully start working on another project, probably in Java, because I've been having a lot of fun with those JavaFX projects. So I may just find a cool project to work on, something I can add to my portfolio, and try to do something like that for my next video. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done. It's been an hour and a half. I'm tired. I did what I set out to do today. Feeling pretty confident writing triggers and functions and stuff like that. So I'm gonna call it a day. But yeah, I mean, before I go, I guess I'll just say, hey, if you watched this, especially if you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and click the bell so you guys can be notified next time I put out a video. I might continue to do these live study sessions. I don't know how helpful they are, how many people are actually going to watch them. I only have 30 subscribers at the moment, and nobody was watching this one, but I might just do it just for my own accountability, and helps me stay motivated to continue to learn what I'm learning. So yeah, anything helps though. Leave me a comment too if you guys have other things you want to see. It's always great when I get comments and ideas on other content that you guys want to see.